All right, everyone. This is Avi Harkishin from Charts. Before we get started, let me just pull this up. So I asked you guys if you want a video on analysis on AMC and GameStop, 100 likes, and I'll do one for you. So here it is. Let's give it a shot, and let's get down to the analysis. All right, here's GameStop. This is what I'm currently looking at for GameStop. So let's just remove some of these ribbons right here, these EMAs. Too much stuff going on. Let's remove this right here. All right. So GameStop, one of the things that I'm looking at for GameStop is this level over here. Whenever we touch this level, we got a bounce. Now, I've been accumulating GameStop at $20, $22 actually, $22 because we came back, we touched that level, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to accumulate right there. So now what I'm looking at for GameStop at this specific moment is this. If you go back and you look at GameStop, this pattern here is actually bullish. And I'm going to show you another chart I'm looking at. For those of you who's following volume profile as well, you'll see the amount of accumulation that's currently taking place on GameStop over here. We're currently finding support at this level. We have massive accumulation taking place at this level here, this entire level for GameStop. We're above the volume point of control right over here on GameStop. And for those of you who's studying volume profile, you can see institutional activities whenever institutions are accumulating or they're trying to distribute a stock. You can see it, and you just put it, you combine it with what's happening on the volume at the bottom here as well. What I'm looking at for GameStop next is a move up towards that $28 level. Let me turn off the volume profile so you can see. Is a move up towards that volume, that's gap right here, that daily gap at $28.42 towards this gap here at $29.30 level. I'm also expecting on the more upside move up towards that $32 to $35 level. That's another target we could be looking at right now for GameStop is that level here. Now, for those of you who's studying Elliott Wave, we have a wave 1, wave 2. Wave 3 is somewhere here. This is a wave 4, and you're now in wave 5. So for wave 5, we're expecting a move towards, again, that $28.42 towards that $29.30 before we see some sort of shakeout or resistance that we're looking at. You could obviously go up more towards $32 to $35, but I think you're going to see a shakeout as warrant is coming out, and the exercise price for that warrant is $32. So I don't think this institution will want to keep the price above $32. So we're going to see a shakeout. If you're following Elliott Wave as well, obviously I could be wrong and the price just takes off, but I'm looking for price to go somewhere between 28 to 42 before we have a shakeout, come back down to possibly fill this gap. Bullish case scenario is that we do not fill this gap, and we just continue to probably hold support at this level here at $25 or so. Now, let me move to the other chart and show you exactly what I'm looking at on a more macro scale for GameStop. Now, on a more macro scale for GameStop, let me do this here. You had the move up. You're in a falling wedge. We're looking at the weekly chart. You're in a falling wedge, and you broke out of that falling wedge. You came back and you retest the break out of that falling wedge. And if you're looking here, massive volume on the weekly chart, accumulation taking place, and you're sitting above the volume profile. So this entire area here that we're looking at, this is currently accumulation taking place. This entire area is GameStop being accumulated. You can't tell as much on looking at just the volume. You can see a lot of accumulation here. But over here is where you'll tell the accumulation that's taking place on GameStop in a moment. And now we're in that place. Let me just remove this here. Okay, wrong thing. Let me remove the fib. And now you're in this level right here in a symmetrical triangle. You have resistance on top here at that 33 towards that $35 level where you're getting rejected every time you come up, but you're creating a higher low whenever you come up. So you're also forming, you can say, an ascending triangle. If you don't know what ascending triangle, I'm going to show you. We were looking at, let me check the Discord. We were looking at Dragonfly, this trade that we took recently in Dragonfly. When I announced this trade, this trade went up like about 40 something percent recently. And this is what you're looking at on, let me go here. This is an ascending triangle when you're creating higher lows, and you just break out of it at some point. It's a bullish triangle pattern, and that's what I'm looking at for GameStop also, is that symmetrical triangle with an ascending triangle. You have that resistance on top here. So I'm looking for that move towards that 28 to possibly as high as $35. And you get that rejection that comes back down. So you can see a move up here, and where you have that rejection that we talked about before, you have that move up again, that shakeout that we're talking about. And this here is pretty much what I was talking about, which is here. This entire sequence here, that's what I am referring to for that shakeout that's happening. But in terms of more macro, this is massive volume, by the way. The price is currently sitting above the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA. You have a golden cross where 50 has crossed over to 200. You have in terms of MACD, you have MACD crossing over also. So the setup is quite bullish. So I'm expecting something like this on the more macro level to take place. A move up, a 5-wave move to the upside towards that $73 to $105. But for now, near term, we're looking at a $28 to $35 move, shakeout, then a move back up. And this here is more of a macro trend. How do I come up with this target? Well, you have a wave 1 to the upside. And for those of you who understand Elliott wave moves in a 5-wave sequence to the upside, and then a 3-wave move to the downside. This is my website. I have the courses for members, and you go here, content. Okay, this is what Elliott wave looks like. You tend to have a 5-wave move to the upside, wave 1, a pullback, which is usually the deepest pullback, wave 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 or wave 5 is usually the longest wave you have. Usually wave 3 is the extended wave. Sometimes you can have wave 5 as the extended wave before you have an ABC correction to the downside. That's what we're looking at. We're currently in wave 3 for GameStop right now. So wave 3 for GameStop that you're in, that's your, let me show you here. This was your wave 1. This pullback here was your wave 2. And you are now in wave 3, 4, and your 5 to the upside. All right. This is your bullish sequence. This here will be your wave 4 pullback. But let's remove that for a moment. All right, so this here is what I am referring to. This sequence here will take you to around $73 to $105. You're currently in that wave 3 target to the upside. All right, wave 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so wave 3 will take you anywhere around $72 to $106, $107. This entire extension over here you're talking about. All right, that's my more macro. Then you have your wave 4 and your wave 5 to the upside. So this is what I'm looking at for the macro sequence for GameStop at the moment. But the near term that's more interesting is you want to look at is this sequence here, which I think you're going to get a move towards that $28 to $35, then a sell-off as the warrant is coming out to shake out a lot of retail before they actually take it up again for this sequence here that I'm talking about. Now, we just don't like to use these technical analysis. We're a data-driven trader in the Discord, in AH Charts. So we like to use data to back our analysis and ensure that we're looking at the right thing. So if you're looking at GameStop and you're looking what institutions are currently targeting, this here, using the option flow and everything, the data, institutions are currently targeting $32. Hey, That's the resistance they're currently setting. And they're saying, look, we're going to set resistance at $32. Once GameStop reaches there, we want it to reject. We don't want this could obviously change. So there could be more hedging and so forth taking place later on where this price can adjust either lower or higher, but currently institutions have set $32 as the resistance on GameStop and they're not willing for GameStop to go higher than that. Institutions have set support at 25 and 20. So if GameStop is to have a fall, 25 will be the support. If it's to break 25, then $20. So they're currently setting support here, which is a retest of this resistance. So you can move up to that 32. We have that shakeout back towards that 25 and then a move back up. Now, that's what the data is showing. Let's dive a little bit deeper and let's look at the option flow here as well. The option flow is currently targeting, is quite bullish, and is currently targeting $25, which is set as support, and $20. These are the support you're seeing on the chart that we just looked at. That's a support, $20 and $25 support. Now, you're seeing option flow and the open interest. You're seeing open interest opening up for that $30 and $35. And that's what I'm talking about. You can expect an extended move towards $30 or $35 near term because they're currently opening call options at 30, 32. And these are quite big. So we're going to see if they're going to continue to build on these as time go in October before the warrants come out. Or sometime maybe this week or next week or so. Let's look at the gamma levels on GameStop. Currently, we're looking at the gamma. This here, based on the option chain, you have $30, which is a big. You have your $28, which I talked about, that gap fill. $28 and $30 is the two biggest levels that we're looking at right now. So we're expecting price to move somewhere between that $28 to $30, $32 resistance that was set. So somewhere between $28 to $30 level, we're looking at price to move as I showed you over here, and then probably have a shakeout before I'll come back down towards that maybe 25 or even fill this gap here at 23 before you have that bigger move to the upside that we talked about over here. Now, looking at this chart with gamma, you have a lot of positive gamma all the way up to $35 over here. So that's a lot of positive gamma, which is saying GameStop is quite bullish right now. We're expecting the price to continue to gamma ramp to the upside towards that 30, which is the biggest level over here, that $30. If you get over that $30, I think you'll see a big gamma squeeze to $35 pretty fast. So currently, this is the level we're targeting, that $30 level. As price is slowly moving up, I think you'll see 30. This is where they're going to try to push it down. But if it could hold 30, you'll see that squeeze very quickly to $35. So those are the level I am currently looking at for GameStop. I hope this video was helpful. The next one we're going to look at AMC next.